Hello, and welcome back on my YouTube channel. And today, I would like to discuss a topic that's rather sensitive for some of you. Today, I would like to discuss the nature of the human race. You see, it is undeniable by anybody that humans have accomplished a major evolutionarily throughout their 300,000 year lifespan. Or to be more exact, their 7 million year lifespan if we count in the earliest hominid species to ever set foot on planet Earth. And throughout that time, we have evolved from primitive, primate-like underdogs of the natural ecosystem to the absolute most dominant species in the entire world, creating large, complex societies and setting ourselves head and shoulder above all other life forms. And with our undisputed dominion extending to the entire planet Earth and beyond. And it is around this point that I need to thank the one and only Allah Ta'ala, or as some of you might know him as God, for granting us his magnificent bless and favorizing us over all other life forms for being his descendants on this planet. However, despite all this progress, it did not come without any setbacks. As we humans evolved, they have developed an insatiable thirst for power, a thirst that has blinded them in order to acquire such power by any means possible, which has resulted in wars, starvation, crime, natural disasters, and so much more. And I guess the best example of such disasters is the Palestinian case that started all the way back 77 years ago and is still happening till this day, as our poor Palestinian brothers are getting mercilessly bombarded and slaughtered day and night, and also starved to death, deprived of the most basic life requirements in our modern life. Those poor people have to suffer through a living hell every single second of their pitiful lives, and the world isn't doing anything about it. And it is around this point that we need to realize a major point. Humans are an infestation. However, unlike any other infestation, it must not be resolved by exterminating it, but by holding it back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm gonna try to do today, as I create what nature couldn't do throughout 7 million years of existence. A natural predator for humans. Or well, my best attempt at it. So strap back and relax, as today we try to create the hybrid equivalent of mankind's natural predator. Starting with the base genome, I've picked Megalosaurus. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I choose Utahraptor or Megaraptor or any dinosaur from that genre? Well, you see, the modifications that I intend to implement on this hybrid require a certain amount of size and weight to back it up, which is why Megalosaurus makes up for a solid pick, being relatively big but not too big, just big enough to hunt humans effectively, thanks to its sleek but robust body build that combines between strong jaws and powerful forelimbs, which is why it is a very solid pick for a base genome, as it can be worked on pretty easily. Next up, I added Daspletosaurus, one of the early cousins of the Tyrannosaurus rex and a similar sized dinosaur to the Megalosaurus, which adds a slightly more robust torso, allowing for proper jaw and neck muscle attachments, as well as the typical Tyrannosauridae tooth anatomy, which make up its strong bite. However, this dinosaur is pretty special in the fact that it has proportionately long arms for Tyrannosauridae, making it all the more of a solid pick, as well as having a sense of smell that's even stronger than that of the Tyrannosaurus lizard king himself. After that, I added my Microthorax for the obvious, that being its robust forelimbs tipped in 3 fingers, which are also decorated in 2 large sickle-like claws, which are deemed as the largest claws of any dinosaur in the animal kingdom. Or should I say in history. But anyways, it also provides other useful traits, such as a large degree of hollow chambers inside of its bones, as well as air sacs and advanced school system, which all contribute to having its superb stamina, as well as immense speed. I also added Deinocheirus, which further boosts the arm anatomy from my Yeep, as well as adding a large hump on its back, which provides an extra surface area for jaw and neck muscle attachments to accommodate a stronger bite, similar to what Nemiphaganax did. Then I added Hypacrosaurus, as this hadrosaur further reinforces the back hump that Dinochirus provides in order to provide an even greater surface area for jaw muscle attachments, as well as providing the unique leg and tail anatomy that all hadrosaurs had for a combination of speed and stamina. However, what separates Hypacrosaurus is that it has the proportionally longest tail to body ratio out of any hadrosaur, which is why I picked it for my hybrid. The Heterodontosaurus is a special genetic additive in that it is added primarily for the sake of congruity, as it allows us to safely implement some of the upcoming or already existing genetic traits provided by other genetic contributors, which include a long whip-like tail, strong forelimbs, and canine-like teeth. The next genetic additive added onto the genome is Bapiosaurus, a thinner xenosaurid which complements the Mayipt claws by providing larsicle-like claws now on all of its digits, giving it large sickle-like claws on all of its fingers, making it all the more of an effective weapon. Furthermore, Bapiosaurus is a highly adept animal for aquatic mobility, being highly agile in the water, which will come in very handy later on. This chicken-sized raptor you see in front of you is our next genetic additive, the Shibuya, which is primarily added for its exceptional sensatory capabilities, given my hybrid large pupils which allow it to see better in the dark in combination with good hearing that rivals that of owls, making it a very effective tracker. Now how about we leave the dinosaurs behind us and move on to actual prehistoric animals that coexisted with the early humans. For this hybrid, we'll be picking two. The first one being Dinopithecus, a prehistoric baboon that dominated over Africa during its time. Thanks to its robust arms, which have flexible shoulders for a wider range of motion, a mix of fast twitch muscles and slow twitch muscles for a balanced mix of explosive force and stamina, as well as opposable thumbs for grappling capabilities, as well as heightened intelligence if modern day baboons are anything to go by, as well as exceptionally large canines, which will be implemented in our hybrid instead of a saber-toothed cat, given that their size is more compatible with a theropod jaw than a saber-toothed cat, as it won't get in the way of the meals that get into its mouth, which is why we're picking the Dinopithecus for canines instead of another option. But who said we aren't using saber-toothed cats for their canines? Meet Meganterion. This saber-toothed cat amongst all cats is added for a handful of reasons. For starters, their canines. While not directly adding its canines, it does contribute to their composition, making them stronger and better built for withstanding strong biting pressure. Furthermore, it further strengthens my hybrid's shoulder and deltoid, making it better built for swinging with much greater forces concentrated on those ginormous claws. Furthermore, it also adds its knee bone, which is better built for jumping, as well as its hind claws for better climbing capabilities. But the main reason why I added this animal is for its hunting instincts. And I'm not talking about the ambush tactics only, but I'm talking about their diet, as these guys are one of the most well-known animals to hunt and predate on humans, with many fossil evidence showing this. While not directly a consistent hunter of humans, it is one of the most common denominators for human casualties, which is why this animal was picked amongst all saber-toothed cats. Now we're moving on to the extant animals, starting with the first contributor out of this class, the Kia parrot, which, shocking no one, is added for two reasons. Number one, that being its heightened intelligence that further complements that of Dinopithecus, and two, its vocal mimicry. After all, one of the primary assets that my hybrid will make use of is psychological manipulation, because in order to beat humans, it's not enough to beat them in the body, you have to beat them in the mind, especially when you consider that their mindset as the top dogs of the food chain makes it very vital to get rid of this asset first, as it's one of their primary weaponry. So, my hybrid can now imitate and even mimic human speech, playing mind games with its prey before dealing with the finishing blow out of nowhere. Next up, we're adding the Northern Shoulder Shrew, which, in case you haven't watched my Diablosaurus Gigantes video, is added for 1. Its bolstered immune system, 2. Its iron-coated teeth, 3. Its fast reflexes, and 4. Its strong sense of smell. However, there are two extra traits that we'll be adding into this hybrid from the Northern Shorthair Shrew. First one, we are gonna be adding the rapid metabolism into this hybrid. If you recall in the Diablosaurus giganteus video, we did not add this trait because it would affect my hybrid's metabolism to the point of making it impossible to keep this guy full for a day without crashing in the entire ecosystem it lives in, and thus it would starve to death. However, given that we are now working with a smaller, more nimble hybrid that's better built for speed and agility, this ability will be tolerated, as it will further boost my hybrid's immune system and reflexes. Furthermore, we'll be adding their venomous saliva, which contains glycoproteins that cause blood clotting, nerval damage, and muscle contraction, all of which are very useful against human targets. I also picked the green iguana for many reasons. One, it adds a very slight modification to my hybrid skull shape, making it shaped more like a square, allowing it to exert greater bite forces with each bite. Furthermore, it contributes to my hybrid's claw composition, making it even stronger and making up for any assumptions about the Bapiosaurus claws being weak like that of the Therizinosaurus, putting them officially to rest. Furthermore, it adds a more elongated tail, which grants greater muscle attachments as well as longer neural spines, which will further increase the effectiveness of the Hypacrosaurus leg and tail anatomy, making it even faster and better built for stamina. After that, I added the parent sea lizard, which adds a major boost to my hybrid's reflexes that will work in tandem with the Northern Shorthair Shrew, in addition to a major boost to my hybrid's sensory capabilities, granting it better vision as well as Jacobs's organ for detecting scent particles in the air and analyzing it via the brain. Moving on, we're using the water anole lizard. Similar to Mortadon arthrophagus, this animal is used for its simple but yet effective deceptive camouflage that allows it to blend in between foliage and underwater. And speaking of underwater, this animal also has special textures near the scales which trap air close to the skin, allowing it to move much more effectively while underwater, but also suck up some of the air via the skin and breathe out carbon dioxide to lengthen its dive. Combine that with adhesive pads on its fingers and toes for better climbing. These adaptations allow it to walk stealthily on the riverbed before jumping humans, crushing them in an instant with its powerful jaws. Not to mention that they also provide extra sensory benefits to my hybrid, which include better color vision as well as acute hearing. Added on to that is the rough skin newt, which, just like Diablosaurus giganteus, is added for its extra layer of skin that has a special bacteria that bioproduces tetrodotoxin, one of the most potent natural neurotoxins in the world. Now, I go more in depth about this in the Diablosaurus giganteus video, so make sure to check it out if you want to learn more about this trait. But basically, this neurotoxin is used as a defense measure against predators, which can be helpful by secreting this toxin through its skin, making it harmful for humans to touch it in case they try to hunt it down or something. Not to mention that nerve skin use are also immune to this tetrodotoxin, which means they have a very robust immune system to further complement that. Now, this upcoming genetic additive might come as a surprise, but it's actually very necessary for my hybrid. This is a llama, and it's used to level up the playing field against humans in one of the most vital departments where they excel in, long-range weaponry. And if you don't know, llamas sure do like to spit, combining some acids from their stomach in addition to their saliva, shooting at others when they feel threatened, and they can do so with impeccable accuracy. So thanks to this, my hybrid can use its venomous saliva as well as some of its potent stomach acids thanks to the Northern Shorthair Shrew's rapid metabolism in order to spit at the other humans, blinding them or even envenomating them using its potent venoms, or even melting their skin using the stomach acids, making it a very effective ranged attack that can be aimed with accuracy and when they feel threatened, making it a highly effective weapon at the arsenal of my hybrid to level up the playing field in ranged combat. I'm also going to be adding the Cuban crocodile, for the fact that this guy is the only modern croc that can sprint, even if for a short distance. Put simply, this guy can perform what's known as a running gait, which is running with all of your feet off of the ground, meaning that this guy can run very, very fast and somewhat leap, which will further increase my hybrid speed and agility, which works in tandem with the Meganterion additive in terms of the jumping part. It also provides the common crocodilian immune system, which struggles off the snake venom and blah 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 blah, you know the rest. However, we are not going to be adding this animal for its armor, as that is reserved for the upcoming genetic additives, that being the Calabar burrowing python. Now, you probably might not know what this snake is. Well, let me tell you. This little guy is the most well-armored snake in the world, given that its skin is composed of a crisscross formation of dense collagen fibers that are 15 times thicker than any other snake in the world. And when I say any other snake in the world, I mean rattlesnakes, boas, garter snakes, you name it. This guy is armored to the teeth, and this armor typically allows them to effortlessly shrug off mama rodent bites, especially given that their diet is solely composed of baby rodents. So this protective layer is highly effective, especially given that its composition is very similar to that of our rhino, which are one of the most resilient animals in the world, being capable of resisting bullets of small caliber at a distance, but still bullet resistant nonetheless. Compiling that in my hybrid, this more reptilian version of Rhino's armor makes it very well defended against ranged attacks, let alone spears and primordial weapons or even bites and scratches and stuff. So yeah, those humans are really running out of options against this hybrid. Now, one last thing remains. I've already established how important it is for my hybrid to gain a psychological advantage over humans if it were to hunt them effectively, as their hard mentality as nature's top dogs would make it a very valuable asset in their possession, an asset that my hybrid needs to deal with quickly if it were to gain a chance against these humans. And honestly, I don't think Kia Parrot's vocal mimicry would cut it all by itself, which is why I added this last genetic additive into my hybrid's genome, the split fin flashlight fish. And I guess you can already tell why I picked this animal. It's literally right in front of your eyes. Well, these guys have light-producing organs under their eyes, which contain bioluminescent bacteria, which it shares a symbiotic relationship with. Using this bacteria, it can lure prey into a trap and even confuse it, making it disoriented and allowing it to dispatch it very quickly and easily. And it also can give the impression of blinking using these membranes, given that it can rotate this bacteria in a pouch and cover it in a special membrane to give the impression that it's actually blinking and those are true eyes, making it a highly effective intimidation display that would freak the shit out of any human, no matter what. And now that we have analyzed the entire genome, it's time to introduce my hybrid. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Pius venetator, name meaning the Gallian Venomitor, code named Vlad, height 3 meters or 10 feet, length 11.2 meters or 37 feet, weight 3 tons. While not a consistent hunter of man, this guy will definitely not miss out on the opportunity of catching himself a great human meal whenever it has the chance. Capable of hunting in packs or all by itself, this genius of a predator comes equipped with acute senses and superb stealth capabilities that allows it to catch prey long before it catches him. Combine that with strong weaponry, which includes strong jaws decorated in tyrannosaur-like teeth, coated in iron in combination with lush canines, large, dexterous, and very powerful arms, which are tipped in large sickle-like claws, as well as a crocodilian-like tail, very long, and can be used for whipping and bashing if the circumstance calls for it. By the way, in case you wonder the crocodilian aspect, I forgot to mention that Cuban crocodile contributes to the tail, making it more muscular, which the reason I forgot because I'm an absolute idiot. But anyways, moving on. It also has strong armor thanks to Calabar burrowing python that allows it to, an extent, shrug off bullets. And combine that with its unique intimidation display that would scare the lights out of any man, as well as its venomous capabilities, which include its ability to secrete poison from its skin, as well as its venomous saliva, which it can spit as a form of ranged attack. This guy has multiple ways to creatively and brutally take a man's life and send him to heaven or hell. And that way, this guy can act as a form of environmental stabilizer, keeping the human population in check while not driving it into extinction. given that it wouldn't primarily be driven to hunting inside buildings or modern cities, but in case they get too close and try to mess with nature, let them remember that nature has developed a response right here and right now, and it's toxic. Really, really toxic. And that's all for today. Now, before I go, I would like to point out a few things. Number one, this guy is not a Scorpius Rex 2.0. I know your guys are just gonna pull up, this guy looks way too similar to Scorpius Rex 2.0 in terms of body build and the fact that it has venomous capabilities like Scorpius Rex 2.0. I'm telling you right now, this guy is not meant to be Scorpius Rex 2.0. This guy is just an original hybrid that's basically my attempt at creating mankind's natural predator. No better recreation of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World hybrids. None of that kind. Just an original hybrid from mine, and it's not meant to be Scorpius Rex 2.0. That I want to clear out right here and right now. That's number one. Number two, this guy is not intended to be a weapon of war like Mortalodon Atrophicus, aka Indoraptor 2.0, or Toxic Beast Melvorphus and Denny, or Ukraine Zilla's Murdromius Ferrodon. I have a special hybrid cooked up, which is hopefully the next video of them that will be shown today. Not today, but hopefully very soon. That will be put up against these guys in particular as a hybrid weapon of war. So this guy's not a weapon of war, it's just a natural predator. And three, please don't show any hate in the comments. I wanted to take this opportunity to spread awareness amongst the Godzilla community and dinosaur community and such of very important human cases that are happening right here and right now, and people don't seem to show much interest in them, although that should not be the case, especially the Palestinian case that I mentioned previously of Palestinian people getting murdered on a frequent basis, on a daily basis, and people not giving a single fuck about it. It's legitimately heartbreaking. I can't find words to describe how disgusted am I in these people who simply watch these clips of people getting murdered thinking it's some form of clickbait. They just ignore it and move on. It's not clickbait. It's happening everywhere, and people for some reason still don't address it, and I feel heartbroken for it. It's legitimately painful for me to watch people I love and respect showing little to no interest in this humanitarian case. So here's something I want to tell to you and you, Mr. Viewer. This is not a case that you can simply flat out ignore and move on with your day. No, this is a case that concerns the entirety of the human race, which includes you and everybody else besides you, which also includes me. So we need to take our part to speak up and stop and put an end to this onslaught, because legitimately it's insane how people are simply mostly governments, that is. I don't want to again, I don't want to spread any hate or point fingers at anyone. A lot of people do support this case and do support ceasefire and ending this colonization of Palestine. So no offense to those guys. However, it is about time that you speak up and you take part in this case and put an end to this onslaught that's happening to those poor Palestinian people, and prove yourself as a phenomenal human being, because I'm confident that you are, and I'm confident that you can make a huge difference. Even if it is by just a word, you can do a lot. So please spread awareness of this case. And again, I don't want to spread any hate or any conflict. I just wanted to take this opportunity to spread awareness amongst all communities, especially the Goji and dinosaur community, which I belong to. Spread awareness of this case, because truly, it's horrifying, and we need to put a stop to it. We have to put an end to this massacre. So please understand me and don't hit on me or don't threaten me, please. Because seriously, I have no intent in spreading hatred or something. So I just want to clear that out. And after I've cleared those points out, I would like to thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more hybrid content, and hopefully kaiju content very soon. So as always, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.